whatever was it that I had been living, and all the impulses and ambitions and strives of my human life had come to sufficient completion that when the grace came, my system could receive it. And it never went away. It's so here with me. As a matter of fact, now that I'm here, and now I'm in this time, and now the work has become a recognition of the peril that is, we're all in, if we know it or not. That may be very well threatening the possibility of humanity to continue to evolve. And what comes up for this is not the first time. There was another time in 2004 after I had been in India with my teacher for 6 years, and then he opened an ashram. He had me open an ashram in Sacramento, California, and I started teaching. And when I started teaching, I was going into these states where they would come on suddenly, I would disappear, and a day or 2 days or 2.5 days later, I would come out as if I just sat down. That literally, for that time, my body didn't have to pee, didn't have to eat, didn't have to sleep. It was frozen in the original position I sat. This went on for 3.5 years. As I got along into about the second year, I began to recognize that what was having me come out or out of that state was a cry. It was a cry of the dejected souls. That's how I named it. But I know now it's an anguish or a cry of the mother that is holding all of existence, where her children and the opportunity of humanity is being undone due to the error of what humanity does in its own separative structures of separation, control, power, need, fear, power. So the anguish is with me now. And this anguish is an unspeakable love. It comes from whatever came to me originally, which has never gone away. It calls me into a sacrifice or a willingness to come out what would otherwise be absolute end of the spiritual journey for an individual, to be engaged with humanity, both not only interactive with people like yourselves, but in the collective consciousness. So I moved at that time, coming out of those 3.5 years, in the recognition that for all the time I spent in India and all the temples my teacher took to me and all techniques that I was given, I have many techniques. He felt that by giving me these techniques, it would help me become what he recognized was already there and needed just to be supported. But I was never pulled to that, because I felt that the thing that human beings are is the only thing you need to listen to, the only thing you need to know, the miracle of your own existence. The fact that you can be now here in this room with someone like myself, aligning yourself with something that's calling you, that's been calling you all along, if you know it or not, to come into a greater relationship with that foundational quality of your being, which is what I call truth, love, and the current that it brings, which is Satchitananda, the bringing forward of greater consciousness, greater knowing, and with that, greater love. When we discover what has obscured us in any moment of our seeking, or in our dynamics of our relationship, or in the struggle of us coming into existence as an individual, or in the recognitions of the errors that we have made so important and so real, in those moments of anguish comes a freedom, comes a space for something new to be created, something new to be birthed. in you. Now, this isn't something I do. It's something that happens because the energy that's living me is manifesting itself as a current. It is empowering me in this moment as a transmission of a possibility that is there in you, allowing you to feel it if you can, to recognize its truth, and to respond to it in such a way that you can begin to reorganize your life to be aligned with it. And the perception of existence is we are all in this same quality of existence as self-aware human beings in a time where the collective consciousness has now expanded enormously all over the world. The whole world is connected to every other part of the world almost instantaneously. I can call my dentist, and in 5 seconds, I've got a call on the other side of the world. Like that. There's never been a time in human history where this kind of interconnection, this weaving of people becoming aware of the world outside of them, not just individually with those you feel already connected to, but for every other area of life, in every other place of the world. It's almost intolerable to feel this level of connection going on because it's desperate. It's a cry of the planet, a cry of anguish, of the very principle that has the holder, the energetic holder of the evolutionary process of humanity in particular, the species of human beings. It's an actual quality of consciousness that should you come to the place where you're no longer bound by mind or emotion or the psychic domains, you can actually feel it, see it, sense it. No, I didn't have to do that. It came to me. It let me know what it was. And it wouldn't stop. And that went on until 2007. And then in 2007, on Guru Purnima Day, after having been doing the work of my teacher in the United States for 3 years with the people who were with me, it was Guru Purnima Day, the full moon, and it came to me that I am that. I am an expression of that principle that comes to the planet periodically to empower the light and to dismantle the power of the darkness and to bring about a reordering, a new Dharma, a new way to be that wasn't possible before based on evolution, based on the historical past that our bodies carry, the limitation of our nervous system, the limitation of the cellular survival succeed structure that's entrained, that shapes our separation, shapes our fear, shapes our judgment of ourselves as incapable or the judgment of others as unworthy. It is this survival primitive structure. Meeting that does come at some stage of the journey to find you're spiteful, hateful, jealous, evil, should that be the word, but ugly quality of ourself. To begin to realize it's not ours per se unless we make it ours, but it's a piece of our inheritance. It's a piece of the evolutionary error, which all our parents and their parents and their parents and their parents, and that error is to forget your purpose, to not live aligned with that, to turn away from love instead of towards love, to step into opportunity rather than run from opportunity due to fear or doubt. So you cannot do this alone. The nature of this is the recognition on that day that I have a mission for the world, that it's my job to bring what's given to me in India. Much was given to me. My teacher would take me temples into the inner spectrums, and they would do the air transmission. And then after a while, I just said, I don't need all this. Thank you, but no thank you. You have all these powers. I wasn't interested in any of them. I just wanted that one truth, that one principle that even the mother surrenders to, that one stand that's allowed existence to wake up to itself, which is what created us. We are that which wakes up to itself, first as a person, in our limitations, in our stories, in our attachments. And I am teaching the people who are with me. I'm showing them, not through teachings, although like here, this is a teaching, but what's going on as I teach to you, I'm transmitting something of what it is I am. And it, perhaps to varying degrees, you're receiving it to whatever can receive it. And its purpose is to empower you to know the greater truths that you carry and the responsibility that comes with that, which means to play your part, not only by collaborating with the unfolding of your own growing maturity, but to support the world and others in that same process. It's not enough to heal somebody who's suffering, because if the structure that created the suffering hasn't been resolved, they're going to endlessly be seeking healers. But if the person can own the territory that caused their suffering, then they can begin to be the healer of their own suffering. Energetically, as we grow in the spiritual path, we will naturally be able to heal things. We will naturally be able to, by attending to it, bring the thing that's causing the suffering to relax and open. Because essentially, attention is love. Attention is a space for something to be. Attention allows for what's possible to come forward. Now, I have a great capacity for doing this, but it's taken years and years to get to that place. But the people who are coming to me are sharing in the burden. Their bodies are on fire sometimes. They can't sleep at night. They have terrible meditations. Because the energy is greater than meditation, right? And the energy is greater than that because it's a current, it's a fire. It's a fire of that truth. That's what truth is. When it comes into existence, it becomes a love that burns. It becomes an intense push on the structures of us that's still in resistance. It's only when we surrender to it that it can come and through us, that we can find the right way to hold it. But there's a transmission in those recordings. If you're open to them, they can become a means, if you never see me again, for an unfolding of something that you actually have been seeking already to another and richer and deeper and fuller level, so that it can become a real, sustainable, direct relationship with the divine reality that lives you and all beings. That's the purpose of my work. It's on our website. Because I knew that if it's not sustainable, if you can't align it in your life such that it's there every day in all your circumstances, then it will not be able to root itself in your entire condition enough. Because that rooting becomes the foundation of a greater and greater unfolding of what it is to be a human being aware of their divinity. It'll be glorious. It'll be glorious so that you could almost not tolerate the glory. It is unspeakable in its fullness. I'm so tired of being wasted by the glory. But the principal being is it's felt in the whole body. And I feel that as you would with each other and with myself and those who are connected to me, but it's for the whole world. And we're wasting it. We're wasting it because we're lost in the distraction that unawakened people have no choice but to get caught up into. It's only through the uniqueness of the spiritual awakening we each carry that we can begin to be useful and begin to birth amidst this chaos a new ordering of what's possible for humanity.